But I was never any more than about 20 feet from those overwing emergency hatches. So I thought, you know, I didn't think about what would happen if this thing just turned turtle and sank right here, but I thought, you know, I could probably somehow make my way out and swim for it, so I wasn't at all concerned for my own safety. And after, you know, a period of time, and I lost track of all time in this, we cleared out all the life vests and the sea cushions in the immediate area, and Sully said, let's get out of here. So we went back up forward and left through the normal boarding door that you might get into. And I remember this odd sense because it was so calm in the cabin, because it was just Sully and I back there, getting these life vests, patching it out. I mean, it might sound foolish, but it was calm, it was quiet. And just as soon as you got in out that door, into where the raft was, it was just absolute pandemonium out on the river. Boats were everywhere. There were almost too many boats. One was coming in and it was threatening to clear the passengers right off the wing, you know, on that side. There was a helicopter overhead that was dropping frogmen in the water, and it blade washing this helicopter, just freezing everybody in our boat. In our raft were Sully, Donna, our A flight attendant, and myself, and of course a bunch of passengers. And we were all wet and cold. I managed to cut the tether that held our raft to the airplane because I was concerned that the airplane was going to sink and take our raft with it. A crewman from one of the boats threw down a knife for me to do that, one of those switchblades. And of course I cut the rope, and I couldn't figure out how to collapse the switchblade because, you know, I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. And I'm holding the knife because, of course, what do you want to do? You want to give the guy's knife back. And, you know, the fact that I'm in an inflatable raft it wasn't something that was missed by me. But after a while, I decided, you know, this is just too dangerous, and I threw it in the river. Our raft floated around the nose of the boat, and we're about ready to be picked up by this small little tugboat kind of thing, the nice low gunwale, something that you could have just crawled into from our raft. You know, we're literally sitting on the water. But then one of these big passenger tourist ferries decides that he's going to be the one that's going to rescue our boat. So he comes barreling in there, pushes the other boat out of the way, reverses his engines, comes to a stop right beside our raft. And I'm looking up at this thing, and it's like 8 feet up to the deck. And I'm thinking, just another obstacle. But then this crew member comes out, and he throws out this boarding net over the side. I remember looking at this thinking, what is this, D-Day? We're supposed to climb up this thing? I mean, my hands are frozen. I can't even grip this rope that they throw down. I have to hold it in my elbows to keep our raft next to the boat while the passengers are climbing up this boarding net. My hands are absolutely frozen. I can't even move my fingers. And but then after a short while, it seemed like not much time at all, I hear Sully behind me, and he says, Jeff, he says, you better get out of here while we still can. And I remember looking behind me and being surprised that all the passengers were gone. They were already up on the boat. So we climb up on the boat, and they have a warm, heated cabin because it's a passenger ferry. I walk in the door, and I'm immediately faced with one of our passengers, and he's got one of those flip phones, and he's just flipping it shut. And he looks at the phone, and he looks at me, and he hands it to me. And I thought, oh, maybe I should call somebody. My phone's in the plane. I thought, well, who should I call? And then made the biggest mistake of my life. I thought, I'll call my wife. Well, you know, what do you say to your wife? She doesn't expect anything. I dial the phone with my knuckles, I can't move my fingers. I got it up to my ear, and looking out the windows of this boat, planes floating by, passengers were still on the planes in this boat. And she answers, she says hi, and I said, hi, this is Jeff. I don't think I'm going to be home for that. And she says, why? And I don't know, it was the last 20 minutes of my life just sort of spurted out of me. I said, well, we took off from LaGuardia, we hit birds, we flamed out both engines, we had to ditch the airplane in the Hudson River, we think we got out, everybody out okay. I gotta go. So then I hand it to Sully, and he tries calling home. But he's got caller ID. And his wife's talking to a friend of hers on the phone. So it beeps, and she looks at it, and she says, oh, it's just Sully. He'll call back later. So then he tries calling our dispatcher. We have a dispatcher. This is just like a trucking company. Tell him we just crashed the airplane. And this guy, he picks up the phone and he says, I don't have time to talk to you right now. We have an airplane down in the Hudson. Now, the last 20 minutes of my life have been pretty action-packed. And with all the shock and the stress and the fact that this boat is starting to roll pretty good, I'm beginning to feel really sick. But fortunately, it's not long before we touch the ferry. That flight took 5.5 minutes. 2 minutes until we hit the geese. 3 minutes until we landed in the Hudson River. It's taken me about 7 times that long just to tell you about it.
Texas 1549, 700, landing 5,000.
Texas 1549, report for the contact on maintain 15,000.
Maintain 15,000, Texas 1549.
Cactus 15.9, turn left, take 270.
Cactus 1539, hit birds to Florence, US, returning back towards LaGuardia.
Okay, you need to return all right. Turn left, heading up 220.
220.
Stop your departure, set emergency returning. It's 15.9. He bird strike, he lost all engine, he lost the thrust in the engine, he's returning immediately.
Cactus 1529, which engines?
He lost thrust in both engines, he said.
Got it.
Cactus 1529, we can get it to you if you want to try to land runway 13.
491, we made it to Hudson.
Alright, Cactus 15.9, it's going to be less traffic to runway 31.
Unable.
Okay, what do you need to land? Do you want to try to go to Teterboro?
Yes.
Teterboro, Empire, actually, LaGuardia Park Sky emergency inbound.
Hey, got it.
Cactus 1529 over the George Washington Bridge, wants to go to the airport right now.
What's the airport check? Does he need assistance?
Yes, it was a bird strike. Can I get him in for runway 1?
Runway 1, that's good.
Cactus 1529, turn right 280, you can land runway 1 at Teterboro.
We can't do it.
Okay, which runway would you like at Teterboro?
We're going to be done.
I'm sorry, say again, Cactus? Cactus 15.9, radar contact is lost. You also got Newark Airport up at 2 o'clock in about 7 miles. Eagle 54718, turn left thing 210.
210, 2718. I think he said he was going in the Hudson.
Cactus 1529, you saw him?